Alongside Tim Welsh and Ish Shroff at a sold-out United Spirit Arena. We want to welcome those viewers watching SMU in Cincinnati on ESPNU. A big win for Larry Brown and the Mustangs. First conference loss for the Bearcats. Here's what you missed so far. Big crowd. Dejan Kravic coming off an 18-point effort, going to the basket early. Todrick Gocher in transition. Oklahoma State has hit on just one of its first 5 field goal attempts.
Well, clearly, Anish, out of the gate, you see what the game plan is for Texas Tech, how to pull off the so-called upset. And on the offensive end, they're going to try to go inside because of a combination of lack of depth and front court size for Oak State. They're going to try to get in the lane, go to the rim, and then defensively, when LeBron Nash touches it in a low box, they're going to send a trap at him and give him a lot of support defensively.
Last foul on Jordan Tolbert, and now another foul away from the ball on Texas Tech. That's on Gocher, his first, 3rd team foul.
The physicality of both teams and the sense of urgency. Really, I think Texas Tech fired up because of this crowd tonight, and Oak State because of the need for the win. You see a lot of early fouls, 5 here in the first 4.5 minutes already called.
Red Raiders sharpshooter Dusty Hanos checks into the game, wearing number 2 in white. Oklahoma State has lost 3 in a row. Texas Tech coming off a win last Saturday against TCU. Shot clock down to 10. Marcus Smart. 3 is off. Rebound chased down by Oklahoma State. Smart drives this time. Offensive rebound Murphy. He's blocked by Kravic, and it's corralled by Crockett.
Texas Tech doing a good job of position, but Oklahoma State fighting on the boards. That time Murphy 1 against 4, won the battle, but just couldn't finish.
Freshman from Englewood, California, Randy Onwuasor in the game for Texas Tech.
Onwuasor's a good player. He can get to the rim. He's an improved guy off the bench for Texas Tech.
Onwuasor drives, baseline, finishes over Murphy.
Tubby Smith talked about Onwuasor. He said, we need to get in more minutes. He gives us a lot of energy and toughness on both ends of the floor. And here, Texas Tech back and down in a stance, feeling good about the way this game has started.
Leighton Hammonds in the game for Oklahoma State. In that triple overtime loss Monday to Iowa State, Hammonds played just 2 minutes. Oak State essentially went with a 6-man rotation for that game. Hammonds and Sager both got in the game, but played a combined 4 minutes. Smart tried to draw the foul. It's not there. And here's Texas Tech looking to push. Tolbert in the low block. Onwuasor over Smart. Out of bounds. Texas Tech will keep it. Sunday on ESPNU, a women's college doubleheader at 1:30. Memphis takes on Temple, and then at 3:30 Eastern, a good one in the Pac-12. 3rd-ranked Stanford visiting UW.
A great example, Anish, on the offensive end on the last set. I mean, Marcus Smart got the ball with the shot clock running down and tried to draw kind of a foul you never get on a 3-point line. He's got to try to create an angle off the bounce, shoot that mid-range shot. That's when he'll get fouled, not 22 feet from the basket.
Smart 0 for 3 to start. Aaron Ross in the game for Texas Tech. Phil Forte in for Oklahoma State. Alex Foster also into the game for the Red Raiders. Tubby Smith will use 10, 11 guys. Oklahoma State, maybe 7 or 8. Hannah's too strong. Weak side rebound, Crockett.
Well, Jay Crockett worked in Brian Williams' watch, and that's been the case a little bit lately of Oklahoma State. And that's what Travis Ford was lamenting about today. Just those energy plays, those focus to make the little things, the little plays that you need to win in the Big 12, and especially on the road.
Forte, the best 3-point shooter in the conference. It doesn't go.
A sense of urgency and opportunities, missed layups. That's been the MO of Oklahoma State during this losing streak. And right now they've got to go get after it on the glass on those misses. They can't watch plays because Texas Tech is full of life tonight with this building sold out.
Crockett over Nash, too strong. And LeBrian Nash fighting for the rebound with Anwar. And a foul on the freshman Randy Anwar.
You know, Jay Crockett is going to play with energy from the high post and the baseline. But here, you see on the missed shot, comes up from the baseline on the weak side. Ryan Williams watches. He doesn't even try to put any body on Jay Crockett, and he just takes over the rim, puts it back in.
Smart, Nash, Forte, Hammonds, and Markel Brown. A 5 on the floor for the Cowboys. Here's Brown. Contact, but no foul. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma State will keep it. With a raucous crowd on hand, Texas Tech off to a good start, up 10-4. Back here at United Spirit Arena with Tim Welsh and Anish Shroff. Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State 10-4. The Cowboys looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. They're coming off a tough loss Monday night in triple overtime to Iowa State, and that brings us to our Welsh Watch.
Well, what you want to watch as a coach is you're coming off a 3-game losing streak, you know, what the mentality of your team is, and just a brutally tough loss. They played good enough to win against Iowa State, but, you know, the bounce of the ball just didn't go their way. A lot of missed opportunities. They missed 5 layups in the game, and at the end of the day, they went home on their home court with a loss in 3 overtimes where 3 players played over 50 minutes and another starter played 49 minutes. So the mentality of your team, can you bounce back from that tough loss? Not only that loss in itself, but the other 2 combined in 4 out of 5. Right now, Oklahoma State's spinning, and out of the gate tonight, just you can see they're playing hard tonight. They've been playing hard, and they're trying to really work the ball a little bit. I don't think they're rushing shots, but something's missing. Texas Tech has got a lot of energy. Oklahoma State, I think, has to try to create some easy baskets with their defense, which they haven't been doing as of late. And I think that's been their major problem. If you look at their field goal percentage, defensively, it's been way down over the last couple weeks.
And the shots have not been falling so far. 1 for 11 for Oklahoma State to start out. And you mentioned 3 players playing 50 minutes. Brian Williams playing 49 minutes in that triple overtime game. That underscores the lack of depth with the loss of Stevie Clark and Michael Cobbins. Travis Ford did tell us today he's going to try to get some of the other players some playing time who maybe don't normally see the court a lot, like Hammonds, who we saw earlier today. Maybe we'll see some Christian Sager. But you get the idea. If it's a close game, Travis Ford is going to go with the guys he trusts.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, it's easy to say that, and you want to say it as a coach because you understand you need to do that. But here, not an awareness of what's going on the floor, and that's just lack of leadership on the court. Someone's got to demand the ball. That's got to be Marcus Smart. He's the point guard on the court. He's got to understand where the shot clock is.
Second turnover for the Cowboys. Jamal Williams Jr. into the game for Texas Tech. 7 to shoot. Anwar off the screen. Off the side of the rim. Foster fighting for the rebound. It's out of bounds to Oklahoma State.
We see Christian Sager in the game early, and Travis is going to get these guys a feel for the game in the first part of the first half. So if he has to put them in the second half, they're not ice cold, and he'll see what type of confidence they have on the floor. And at the end of the day, your big players got to show up. Marcus Smart, Markel Brown, LeBrian Nash, they have to make the plays. They have to play better for Travis Ford.
Here is Nash down low for the finish.
And that guy has answered the call. I mean, you talk about the losing streak. He's had nothing to do with it because he is a guy that is vastly improved because he understands what type of player he is, and that's in the lane, and he's got back to the basket moves deluxe.
That's what Marcus Smart does well. He pokes it away. Turnover forced by Oklahoma State. Smart all the way to the basket for 2.
That's Oklahoma State understanding the game plan that Travis Ford wants to implement. Attack, attack, attack. And first, turn the ball over and be aggressive on the defensive end of the floor.
Shot clock at 10. Williams will fire. And a rebound to Brown.
And now Texas Tech not getting much movement with the ball or with the players.
Markel Brown, the basket and the foul. And he'll go to the line to try to complete a three-point play.
Bad set offensively, and Texas Tech never got their defense set. This is just a great player making a tough play in the lane, and this is what Travis Ford talked about this morning. He said, listen, we can develop a bench, we can do all we want, but at the end of the day, Marcus Smart, Markel Brown, and Brian Nash, they have to take us where, if we're going somewhere, those are the three guys that are going to bring us home. And everyone else will follow and play better when those guys play better, and that's what Brown did on that possession.
Brown, the lone scholarship senior, played 54 out of a possible 55 minutes in that loss Monday against Iowa State. And Brown's free throw gives Oklahoma State its first lead of the game. Turner lost it. Turner for three. Offensive rebound. And a travel by Jordan Tolbert.
Texas Tech is aggressive on the glass, but they have to find a way in their offense to get Jordan Tolbert and Jake Crockett more involved. I mean, Tolbert has hardly touched the ball at all. And they've got to find a way to go at him inside and maybe try to get Brian Nash in foul trouble.
Tolbert's the team's second leading scorer, but he's been under 10 points in 4 of his last 5 games. Kamari Murphy back in for the Cowboys. Offensive foul on Smart.
Well, this is a play that you cannot blame Marcus Smart on. He's trying to make something happen. You can see he's anchoring himself down in the baseline, and here Turner makes a, kind of slides with him. I'm not sure about that call. One of those 50-50s that the All-American didn't get. Looked like he was sliding and didn't have a good defending angle on Marcus Smart.
Turner shaded by Sager, the former walk-on. Shot clock again, under 10. Gocher to Turner. Blocked by Sager. Murphy on the breakout. Forte lines it up.
Well, just an outstanding play by the big fella from New York, Kamari Murphy. The presence of mind to know where the lockdown shooter Phil Forte was on the weak side.
Forte a 47% three-point shooter. Kravitz working the baseline, and he's blocked. Phil Forte, the top three-point shooter in the Big 12. Off the nice feed from the big fella. Oklahoma State junior Michael Cobbins has been reduced to cheerleader. He's out for the season with an Achilles injury, and really that was the beginning of a downward spiral for this Oklahoma State team. Cobbins gets hurt. He's lost for the season. Marcus Smart struggling. All the controversy with the flopping. Stevie Clark dismissed after a second arrest, and then struggles in conference play. They were hammered in the first half against Kansas, made a furious rally in the second half, just fell short. Lost to Oklahoma in Bedlam, lost last Saturday against Baylor, and then the triple overtime loss at Gallagher-Iba Monday to Iowa State. The first win for the Cyclones in that building since 1988.
You know, and Travis Ford has a positive outlook. He says we talk about our best players have to play better, but I think what they're doing in the last 3 or 4 minutes will be they do this the rest of the season, and tonight they're going to be successful, and that's guard. You look at the Kansas game, 55%, Oklahoma 57%, 47%, Baylor 52%. If they defend, then they can get out in transition where they're ultra dangerous.
That was what this team was built on last year. Defense, as There's a foul away from the ball.
Well, they've been tweaking, of course, because you lose Clark. He's a good backup point guard. He can put pressure on the ball at the top, allows Smart to move around a little bit on both ends. But the anchor of their inside defense clearly is Cobbins, and they're still trying to figure out how to play without him on the defensive end of the floor.
Tolbert fouled on the drive by Murphy, and that's something Kamari Murphy has to be careful with. He's fouled out of his last 3 games. A doubleheader Sunday night on ESPNU at 6 Eastern. Clemson visits top-ranked and undefeated Syracuse. Trevor Cooney has been hot for the Orange, 11 of 14 from downtown in his last couple of games, and then it's UW in Colorado at 8 p.m. Last week was not a good week for teams from Colorado against teams from Washington. Here's Oak State in transition where they're so good. Brown the finger roll, batted out, saved by Sager. The Cowboys lead the Big 12 in transition points per game, almost 20. Smart fouled. It's on Kravitz, his first.
Oklahoma State is on the attack right now. They're very aggressive, getting the ball to the rim. After that first quick timeout by Travis Ford, they've done a better job with patience and shot selection. And Texas Tech is really stuck in the mud on the offensive end. They're not moving the ball, they're not changing sides of the floor, and they're not involving Jake Crockett enough.
Marcus Smart earlier this week addressed the whole flopping controversy, saying he's not the only one that's doing it, but he also brought up a good point with the new rules in place, emphasis on freedom of movement. He said the officials haven't exactly called it consistently, and you talk to different coaches around the league, a lot of them, they may not say it publicly, but off the record will tell you he's got a good point.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, you can't fault him for that. I mean, he gets so much national exposure. Everything he does is scrutinized, but he is one tough competitor. And tonight he came to play. He is very active, focused, and energized on both ends of the floor.
And Smart wasn't blaming the referees either. He said they're still adjusting to calling the game with the new rules. Shot clock at 6. Tolbert hits the front rim, followed by Crockett.
Activity by Jay Crockett. They have not involved him with touches in the half court, so he's going to make his own touch at the rim offensively on the glass.
Nash lost it. Here's Gocher. Driving on Forte and a foul.
Texas Tech has not been very successful running half-court offense, so you have to initiate and organize your own half-court offense up on the glass, and they've got to continue to do that. Not only that, but defensively very active on the other end. When Nash got the ball, the strip away, and then the attack by Gocher.
Todrick Gocher missed most of last year with a foot injury. Took a medical red shirt. His dad was a football player at Baylor. Actually missed most of the 2011-2012 season with a foot injury. He took a medical red shirt that year. 3-point game here in Lubbock. Sellout crowd. The first since 2007 at United Spirit Arena. Lob pass picked off by Tapsoba. Gocher to Crockett. Oak State the other way. Here's Nash. Look out. And a hard foul.
End-to-end action, and Texas Tech had the right idea. Gocher pitched it up on the rim, but they didn't come down with the play, and they coming the other way. Nash on the attack. Right at Tapsoba. Mano a mano. Lubbock style.
And Smart and Brown and Nash. Oklahoma State has 3 of the more electric athletes in the country.
Coming down on the other end, it looked like Crockett just, the idea was right. The pass was a little off. That's where Crockett's got to come down with the ball, just gather himself, go up with it. Instead, he tried to one-hand flush it. And it cost him because Oklahoma State off to the races the other way.
Nash has 4. It's a 5-point lead for the Cowboys. Crockett strong to the trim for 2.
I think Texas Tech can go to that well a lot. Space the floor, open up the top for Crockett, and let him attack. He is their best player by far, and they have not involved him enough tonight.
There's Jamal Williams. He's been quiet. And the rebound to Kocher.
Oh, bad shot by Williams. Just a forced entry to the rim.
Turner gets the bucket.
Well, it almost seems 9 times out of 10 when you take a bad shot, the other team's coming at you the other way, and they're going to get an easy one because on the attack, Oklahoma State never got organized and matched up.
Forte the 3. He falls down. No foul. Seldom used center Marek Socek into the game for Oklahoma State as Travis Ford is trying to get his bench some minutes in a friendly roll.
Well, his bench is in the game, but they're not presenting much problem for Texas Tech defensively, allowing easy drives to the lane, and then offensively taking quick, tough shots.
9-2 run by the Red Raiders. Tapsoba coming out on Forte. And Forte lost it, but he's fouled.
Excuse me, Anish, you're in a catch-22 as a coach. I mean, you understand that you need to develop a bench a little bit, but when you look down the bench and you take Marcus Smart or Markel Brown out of the game and you put in a Christian Sager or a Marek Socek, and you're saying, wait a minute, I can't go very long with this because the fact just the drop-off is so huge that they can give you spare minutes here and there, but the guys who are going to take you over the goal line have to be Smart and Brown and Nash.
Both teams in the bonus, and Forte pretty much automatic from the foul line. A 92% free throw shooter. He gets them both.
Where you see the big drop-off is defensively. I mean, when Sager came in the game, you saw Texas Tech's guards are just driving into the lane and on the baseline and getting good shots to the rim.
Tapsoba in the post. Good defense there by Nash, but Tapsoba able to get it over the smaller LeBron Nash.
The big fella, little used, very even more seldom looked to, but a nice post move out of box.
Tapsoba entering play had only seen 6 minutes of action in conference games. Forte leans into it, too strong, and then takes the rebound away from Tapsoba, and he's fouled by Hannes.
Oklahoma State is on the ropes because Texas Tech is on the attack. Ball screen, a little teardrop. The energy's back in this building.
It's a tough building to play. Phil Forte knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1, as we mentioned. One of the best free throw shooters in the nation. And also the top three-point shooter in the Big 12.
When you look at shooting, both teams' shooting percentage are pretty much dreadful, but I credit the defenses. Both defenses, high energy, a lot of communication, a lot of toughness, active. Here, a little pressure by Oklahoma State.
Skip pass to Williams. Oak State 11 of 11 from the foul line here in this first half.
The pressure back to the 3-2 zone. They'll play 3-2. They'll play some 1-3-1 as well. This actually is the 1-3-1 with Marcus Smart playing the back. They do a good job of actually disguising their defenses. They'll go from three-quarter pressure back to some different zones, 3-2 and 1-3-1. And Texas Tech has to do a better job of just not looking at it and trying to identify, but attack the middle and try to get to the rim.
Small lineup on the floor for Oklahoma State. LeBron Nash essentially the 5. Kamari Murphy on the bench with 2 fouls for Travis Ford. Here's Brown, 7 threes in this building last year. And he knocks that one down from the outside.
Oh, that's great offense there, Anish. Just driving into the gap by Forte. A good cut by Smart, and the presence of mind and awareness to find Brown on the weak side.
Shot clock again, winding down to 5. Kocher. And the rebound to Markel Brown. Here's Smart. Lost it. Crockett fouled on the way up by Sager.
One thing about Oklahoma State is they've been on the attack, and Marcus Smart has been on the attack as well. He lost control of the basketball and loses control of the ball, and then he just rams into Kadir Tapsoba. Can't understand how nothing was called there. Freedom of movement. Wait a minute. That's something. So Texas Tech took advantage of the no call, scooping up the loose ball and attack and going the other way.
And Smart stretching out that right hand. It looked like he may have banged that right hand on that last play. Back to a 2-point game.
When the team's in a spin, sometimes the coach got to be part psychologist, part coach. And Travis Ford's done a good job of getting into his team's head. We have to be more patient and attack and space the floor and reverse the ball and use all of our players out there. They've been very unselfish offensively.
Brown had his man in the air, and then a foul on Tapsoba.
There's no reason for Tapsoba to reach in there. Nash was in that mid-post area, and he had some support defensively around him, but sometimes you get a little anxious.
10th team foul on Texas Tech, so Oklahoma State will shoot 2 for the final 68 seconds of the first half, and Tapsoba with 2 fouls goes to the bench. Kravitz checks back in.
You might say, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, well, what the heck's he talking about? We've only got 25 points, but they've done a good job offensively of moving the ball in the last 8-9 minutes. Just Texas Tech, give them credit. They came to play defensively today. They have a very solid game plan. They stuck to it.
And that's a foul on Markel Brown, so 1-1 for Texas Tech. Second foul on Brown.
Well, Robert Turner runs the point. It's not always pretty. He's out there running the show because he's not really a natural point guard. He was a scorer in junior college at New Mexico Junior College, and kind of had to transform him into that point guard spot. But he's pretty rock solid. He's pretty tough out there. Not always pinpoint in his decisions, but like that guy, he was pinpointing his decisions when he played at Kentucky. Turnover by the old Kentucky guard. Rick Pitino would have benched him for that back in his day as a point guard at Kentucky.
It's been a tough stretch of games for Travis Ford. Oklahoma State 4-5 in league play. Looking to right the ship on the road. And Marcus Smart rewarded as he was aggressive trying to take the ball to the basket, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, what Oklahoma State did since their game on Monday is basically they had a lot of film work, and they took the good points and the bad points of their last 3 or 4 games, and they broke them down. And they took Marcus Smart in the film room as well and said, Here's when you're at your best. And that last play is when he's at his best. When the floor is space, he uses the ball screen, changes direction, gets in the lane, and draws a foul.
Smart played 52 minutes in the triple overtime loss to Iowa State. He scored 20 points. 19 came after halftime. Red Raiders with a chance to tie, a 3 for the lead. Tolbert down low, good body control, and we've got a tie game.
Texas Tech recognized that Oklahoma State ran back with their head down. They weren't identifying, they weren't communicating, they weren't matching up. And the rim run excited this building by Tolbert.
Forte traveled, and Texas Tech will get it with 17.7 seconds to go in the half.
We've got to run back, and you see Oklahoma State just running back with their head down, not matching up. And Tolbert simply runs right down the middle of the floor, and nobody puts a body on him. And Texas Tech, good awareness.
Timeout, Tubby Smith, with less than 20 seconds to go. The Red Raiders in this building last month had a big win against Baylor. At the time, Baylor wasn't quite in the free fall it's in now. That was part of it. But with this crowd, a coach in his first year, it's a chance for Tubby Smith to make a statement about the direction of this program.
Well, the direction of this program is in the hands of a proven winner. Never in his career has he had a losing season. And he came here ready to put his stamp on the map here at Texas Tech. They've been able to upset Baylor. Already got as many wins as they had a year ago. Listen, Texas Tech, when they were able to lure that man to this place, their prayers were answered. I heard somebody once say that, and it was wrong, but their prayers are answered here. When Tubby came, they have a winner.
Final seconds of the half. Williams over Sager, and Texas Tech with the lead.
Texas Tech kind of got stuck in the mud for a long period of the first half, but now they're starting to move the ball and attack, and off the bounce, create a little space. The step back, Jamal Williams. Hey, I'm from Brooklyn. I learned that in the playgrounds. I brought it all the way to Lubbock. Thank you, Texas Tech fans.
The Jamal Williams basket gives Texas Tech a 2-point lead at the break. They go to
going through Jay Crockett. If they're going to win this game, they've got to keep getting, go to Crockett almost on every possession. At least get him a touch to draw the defense in the middle of the floor.
Marcus Smart had 9 in the first half for Oklahoma State. Crockett, 10 points, 7 rebounds for the Red Raiders. Smart looking to post up Turner. Now he faces Smart off balance. Snatched by Crockett.
Well, that's not what Travis Ford wanted. He wanted a post up, but he wanted him to go at Turner. And that fadeaway is not going to get it done. I mean, Robert Turner's got 2 fouls, and he's the point guard, and he is really the only point guard Tubby Smith has. That's why I'm going to try to take the ball to the rim and see if Turner presents any type of resistance.
Kamari Murphy starts the second half for Oklahoma State. He's also got 2 fouls, as does Markel Brown. Smart double teamed. Shot clock at 10. Nash driving and one.
Well, that time Oklahoma State took advantage of the trap down on the short baseline of Marcus Smart, and he dribbles away from the trap. That's when Texas Tech has got to regroup and close out better. And There's just a total mismatch when Marcus Smart drives on Dan Kravitz.
Second foul on Kravitz.
The defense got a little out of sync and out of sorts when Smart dribbled smartly away from the double team and just drew two defenders and then pitched it, and they reversed the floor before Texas Tech could react on the weak side.
We've got our 7th lead change of the game. Crockett. And the rebound to Kamari Murphy. Smart shovels to Brown. From 15. And Crockett snares his 8th rebound.
That was good push, though, by Marcus Smart. The awareness that to find his backcourt mate with the shovel pass coming back in transition.
Tolbert in the post. And he's fouled.
We're not the only ones that understand what Texas Tech has to do. That man on the sideline has never had a losing season, and there's a reason for it, because he knows how to attack and someone's weakness, and they're going inside. They went to Crockett and then to Tolbert, and not hanging out on the perimeter. They're going to go right into the lane and see if Oklahoma State can challenge.
Orlando Tubby Smith has led 4 different teams to the NCAA tournament. Last year, he delivered Minnesota's first NCAA tournament win since 1990, and then was fired after the season. And as you mentioned in the first half, a great coup for Texas Tech in landing a guy like Tubby Smith.
Well, they've had 4 coaches in 4 years, but this thing is officially settled. Now they have a man to run their program for a long time.
Red Raiders with numbers. Tolbert in transition, and Texas Tech takes the lead.
I really like what Robert Turner did. He got the loose ball, and he put his head up, looked up, and pitched it ahead. Perfect delivery, and then Tolbert, great balance at the rim.
Here's Smart. And a foul on Texas Tech.
You see Robert Turner, just the good presence of mind, and keep his head up, and on the loose ball just pitched it ahead to the big fella who leaked out in transition, and again just perfect balance to finish the play.
We've seen Marcus Smart make a concerted effort tonight to try to get to the foul line. The shot hasn't been there again for him from the field, just 2 of 7. Well, these are his 7th and 8th free throws of the game.
Well, they did a nice job on that last possession. And they got Texas Tech into a switching situation on the pick and roll at the top. And Tolbert got caught on Marcus Smart. There was really nowhere to go. And Texas Tech did a good job of closing the gate. But he just found a way. He bulldozed his way. And that's what he has to do, because Texas Tech is playing very good, solid half-court man defense.
Oak State getting half of its points from the stripe. Shot clock running down. Turner tries to save it, and it's out of bounds to the Cowboys. We've seen that a lot today from Texas Tech. Trouble getting into the offense. A lot of shots coming with the shot clock under 10.
They get stuck, man. That's really because of their lack of this confident guard play, but also it's because Oklahoma State's been very good defensively as well.
Smart to the basket, and that rims out. And once again, Marcus Smart to the foul line to shoot a pair.
Again, Marcus Smart is making sure that he finds any lane to the rim. He's like that fullback that sees pay dirt, man. He is going to the iron tonight, and mission accomplished by Travis Ford. He's taking that perimeter jumper out of his game for tonight and said, work your way in, and then you can come back out.
That was the 3rd foul on Kravitz, so he exits. Kadir Tapsoba in. Randy Onwuasor playing with 2 fouls in for Texas Tech. And Phil Forte into the game for Oak State. Good defense that time by Smart to knock it away.
Texas Tech has to get more movement, better spacing. On the last turnover, they had everybody bunched on one side of the floor, and they're never going to score against Oklahoma State unless they space it properly and get Crockett involved where he has some room to operate.
Again, the struggle to get into the offense. Again, the shot clock under 10. Good defense by the Cowboys. Tolbert. Shot clock down to 3. Tolbert's got a jacket. And it's an air ball. Smart to Forte, his old high school teammate.
The complete game is in full mode for Marcus Smart. Rebound and a pitch ahead.
A Flower Mound to Texas connection. And it's a 5-point lead for the Cowboys. Third foul on Kamari Murphy, and foul trouble with a thin rotation has been an issue for Oklahoma State. Murphy especially, the last 3 games he's fouled out. The 2 games prior, he finished with 4 fouls.
Baseline out. Oklahoma State's going to mix and match their defense again, playing a little zone. Make Texas Tech think and wait.
Tapsoba over Brown, and that time he used the size advantage.
Texas Tech assistants all look at each other and say, who's that guy out there on the floor? Maybe we found something down in the low box. The big fella, Tapsoba.
He hadn't seen the floor in the previous 3 games, but quality minutes tonight as Smart knocks down the J.
Well, that was a possession that Texas Tech should have absolutely sent the trap at Marcus Smart.
That one rims out for Tapsoba. Nash pulls up. It's good. And it's a 7-point lead for Oklahoma State.
Going back to the zone again. I think on that last possession when Tapsoba got clear, Oklahoma State was not organized.
Timeout, Tubby Smith. Oklahoma State maybe starting to find its mojo. An 11-2 run for the Cowboys. With Tim Welsh and Ish Shroff, Sunday on the U. Undefeated Syracuse takes on Clemson. The Orange off to the best start in school history. Washington visits Colorado, and these two played last month. Colorado's Spencer Dinwiddie tore his ACL. It seems when a team from Colorado plays a team from Washington, bad things happen. Dinwiddie gets hurt. The Super Bowl last week. Maybe a chance for some comeuppance by Colorado.
What happened in the Super Bowl? I turned it off after a quarter, but Oklahoma State didn't turn anything off. They came out of the locker room ready in the second half to attack defensively. First it started, they just got out in transition, and this man, Marcus Smart, the delivery, first in transition, then just a little simple scoop pass to his partner in crime, and he's been going down low, looking to create in the lane. No threes. Marcus Smart has listened to his coach on how to get back into the flow.
Smart's got 15. He's done most of his damage from the stripe. 9 of 10 at the line. There's Dusty Hannas guarded by Forte. Those are 2 of the top sharpshooters in the Big 12. Crockett working on Smart. Smart falls down. No call. And Markel Brown corrals the rebound. You know that's going to get attention. Phil Forte left the 3 short. Rebound tip to Tapsoba.
Right now it's toughness is winning out for Oklahoma State. They're just stepping over the line, and Texas Tech is backing up.
The lob to Tolbert. Forte bombs it.
Forte steps to the top. You better understand defensively that you've got to be in his chest on the catch. And Texas Tech was way late. Forte said, thank you very much.
A foul away from the ball. Phil Forte's three has given Oklahoma State an 8-point lead, but Dusty Hannah's exclamation.
Excuse me, I'm not on the list? How do I get on that
Marcus
list?
Foster at 34.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's why this league is so good. And there's a lot of good players. You could probably put 10 guys on that list and get no argument.
Joe Lunardi's current bracket projection has 6 Big 12 teams in the field of 68. 2 others on the bubble. That's West Virginia and Baylor. Tapsova on the inside. And Kadir Tapsova has 8.
Well, the one thing is when you're confident as a player like that, you're feeling it, but it's amazing. His teammates are confident in him as well. They're looking for him. He's doing a good job of getting open, demanding the ball, and then delivering.
That time the big fella saves it. On with Shore all the way with the left hand. Travis Ford calls a timeout with 12:37 to go in a half. Texas Tech is close to within 4 after Oak State had built up an 8-point lead.
Well, Texas Tech over the last couple weeks, Tubby Smith has tried to build some confidence in his bench, and Randy Amasor has done a nice job as a guy who can get to the rim, and he made the play on the possession before when they played off him, and they wanted him to shoot the 3. He's not a 3-point shooter. He knew he made the perfect delivery inside to Tapsova, and so the bench has ignited Texas Tech.
And if you're Tubby Smith, why not attack the basket? Kamari Murphy has 3 fouls. So does LeBron Nash. They've got to be careful. Not a lot of depth behind them.
they have to keep attacking. And, you know, they've done it the last possession in transition possession before in the half court where they had the floor space. Their problem is they get a little too bunched up. Everybody's running to the ball. They have no space to throw it inside. Now a little pressure from Texas Tech. Tubby reaching into his old bag of tricks. Back in the Kentucky days, a little full court pressure. He hasn't done much of that this year with his club, but he's feeling good about the momentum change going on right now in this ball game.
Red Raiders big edge and points in the paint. Nash and Murphy both playing with 3 fouls for the Cowboys. Tapsoba way short, offensive rebound, Crockett, and it's a 6-0 run for Texas Tech.
I think Jay Crockett smelled it. Tapsoba was a little too far from the basket to shoot that jump hook, and he just attacked the rim from the free throw line.
Onwuasor comes way out to play smart. Murphy knocks down the jumper. Big shot there by Kamari Murphy.
Real good defense by Randy Onwuasor on Marcus Smart, but Smart stayed under control, and Murphy finished it off.
Seeing some zone here from Oklahoma State.
This is their matchup. 3-2, and they will 1-3-1, but here they're just trying to keep the ball out of the lane. Also pay attention to Hannah's on the perimeter.
Again, shot clock winding down. Onwuasor, shot fake, fires, and hits.
I think they're going to take a look at that when there is a dead ball, and we'll take a look and see if that was a 3. And the horn sounded out.
3 or 2. The crowd loves it. Randy Onwuasor. Sunday on the U, a women's college basketball doubleheader. Memphis Temple at 1:30 Eastern, and that's followed by third-ranked Stanford visiting UW at 3:30 Eastern. The officials wanted to review the last shot by Randy Onwuasor, the freshman, to see if it was a 2 or a 3. Take one more look. Both feet behind the three-point line. That's going to be an easy call.
Well, the way his and Kadir Tapsoba's night is going, you knew that was going to go in, and you knew that was going to be a 3. And he's 2 for 11 on the year. And Oklahoma State is just dead laid off him, and rightfully so, and just laid and packed it in the middle of the floor, because Texas Tech really only has one good three-point shooter, and that's Dusty Hannahs. But the momentum and the energy and the confidence in this building seems to be rising by the minute. Let's see if Oklahoma State can answer. You know, they've answered pretty much every call tonight. They've stayed composed, and Travis Ford's tried to change defenses. Now a little bit more pressure from Texas Tech.
Full court press. That last three, the first for the Red Raiders in this game. Brown, Forte, Smart, Ryan Williams, and LeBron Nash, the five on the floor for Travis Ford's Cowboys. It's on with Shore, Hannah's, Tapsoba, Jamal Williams, and Jake Crockett for Texas Tech. Tapsoba defending Nash, and Nash tied up and fouled.
They didn't like that foul here. Tubby Smith didn't like it either, but that's okay. We just got to keep putting the pressure on LeBron Nash in the low box. It's good aggressive basketball by Texas Tech.
Foul on Jamal Williams, his first.
The mission accomplished. What they need to do is dig the ball out of LeBron Nash's hands and make him feel and understand that you're going to see a trap and pressure coming from all sides when you catch the ball in the middle of the lane, and that's why he's had trouble scoring tonight.
Crockett touched it last, so Oklahoma State keeps it. 19 to shoot.
Both teams have had excellent game plans defensively, and that's why you see the points have been hard to come by. Very active in the lane and aggressiveness from the weak side.
Robert Turner in for Onwuasor. Here's Smart. His pass tipped. Smart down the lane, lost it. Williams, no, the follow's not there. And then Tapsoba was fouled on the way up. That's on LeBron Nash, his fourth.
This is bad offense turns into bad things that happen, and this all started with Marcus Smart trying to force the issue on the offensive end. I mean, you want him to be aggressive going to the lane, but you've got to do that when he catches the ball on the move or with the floor space. And he tried to drive into the middle of the lane against a set defense, and an army of Texas Tech players attacked him and then went the other way.
So 4 fouls now on LeBron Nash. And remember, with Michael Cobbins out for the season with that Achilles injury, there really isn't much front court depth on this Oklahoma State team. Nash to the bench, Kamari Murphy back in. He's got 3 fouls.
I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to drive successfully very often, if ever, against a Tubby Smith team from the top of the key against his set man-to-man defense, because he's going to attack you. The help is going to come. That's the way he teaches his man-to-man defense, and it's in full effect tonight.
Tapsoba at the line, graduate student from Ouagadougou in the landlocked West African country of Burkina Faso, or as you know it as Upper Volta. That's
wherever he's from. He came to play tonight. He's been a special present for Orlando Smith.
9th tie of the game. Hannah's on Forte. Here's Brown to the basket, and the Cowboys retake the lead.
That's the best set Oklahoma State's run in a while. They were patient. They spaced the floor, and then a great read of the screen on the curl by Brown.
Hannah's without a point in this game. He was averaging better than 14 per game over his last 5. And Phil Forte not giving him any room. Hannah's drives and gets the roll. We're tied once again.
Who says that man can only shoot threes? Off the bounce, off the curl, read the screen, off the window in the lane amongst the bigs for the little guy.
Offensive foul against Forte.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anise, you can't hear much in here tonight with this 15,000 plus energized, but one thing I did hear in that last possession was big-time communication defensively by Texas Tech on the switch out, understanding where Forte was, and then causing the turnover.
Tapsova's entry pass comes right back out to him.
He says, easy, big fella. Not Magic Johnson. Just give the ball to the guards and get back down low. Don't get too cute.
A little frisky after not playing the last 3 games. Rocket! Forte for the answer. And another rebound by Crockett. He's got 15 points and 12 boards. His 16th double-double. Tapsova fouled. It's on Kamari Murphy, his 4th. Texas Tech up 3. Less than 8 minutes to go in regulation.
Games will be amongst hated rivals, and Roy Williams will not accept a 500 season like everybody thought at North Carolina. Barry, just an impressive win today at Notre Dame.
3-point lead for Texas Tech. Foul trouble has been an issue for Oklahoma State. They don't have a ton of depth, not a lot of guys in the rotation, and right now they're 2 bigs. Nash and Murphy both have 4 fouls, and Texas Tech taking it inside.
Well, Kadir Tapsova averages 2 points, plays about 10 minutes a game. Randy Amasar plays 12 minutes a game, but they've been huge for Tubby Smith. It's giving them a lift, energy, confidence, and everybody else has fed off their confidence as well. And Tubby Smith, a lot of credit for playing these guys, especially Tapsova.
And Tubby Smith can't like that errant pass out of the media timeout. That reaction sums it up. Only the 6th turnover for Texas Tech. Kamari Murphy in the game for the Cowboys, playing with 4 fouls. Former walk-on Christian Sager in as well. Smart. Nice move, taking it strong to the basket. And Marcus Smart's got 17.
Just bulldozed his way in there. Threw an elbow first, kind of created a little space, then he got fouled. And Texas Tech has to understand, with Nash not in the game, they need to get more support on the box.
And as the three rims out. That was his first three-point attempt of the game. Brown fouled.
You see Marcus Smart trying to post up down low. He hooks his man first. I think he has great space with an offensive foul, and then down the other end they call a little. If you put your hand on the side of a guy's hip, it's a. If you tackle each other, it's okay.
Nice hand for Tapsoba as he goes to the bench with 3 fouls.
I guess there was no advantage. They both kind of bear hugged each other. Play on.
Let him play. It's been back and forth all evening.
Texas Tech in a 2-3 zone. They have to be aware.
Offensive rebound, Murphy, and Oak State takes the lead again.
Marcus Smart created that by, he set a back screen right to the middle of the floor.
Smart fell down. Gocher's shot no good.
It looked like Gocher got hit on the arm big time on an attempt to go to the rim. There was definitely body contact at the iron.
Jamal Williams at the scorer's table for Texas Tech. Forte, the up and under. How about Phil Forte?
Well, that's what makes Phil Forte so good, is that, you know, you have to pay attention to the outside, but you lock and trail, get on his hip because you're afraid of him shooting a three. He has that ability to read the screens, curl, and make a play in the lane.
15 for Forte, the sophomore from Flower Mound, Texas. He was a high school teammate of Marcus Smart's. Shot clock at 6. Gocher, catch and shoot.
Robert Turner made that play. Good awareness at the end of the clock. Not to force things, but drove it into the lane, drew the defense, and kicked it out to his backcourt mate.
Smart trying to beat the shot clock. He does. Marcus Smart.
That's what great players do, and the toughness of Marcus Smart from the perimeter.
He was 4 for 36 from downtown. Prior to that last three, had been in a prolonged shooting slump from the outside. Here's Crockett. Point, counterpoint, punch, counter punch.
Well, who says these teams can't shoot from the outside? I'll tell you what, both teams are locked in right now.
And so is this crowd. Brown traveled. 3:33 to go in regulation, and Tim Welsh, these two are trading haymakers.
Well, Marcus Smart came ready and focused today. He has made play after play on both ends of the floor. And then Jay Crockett, you need a bucket, I'll get it.
We're gearing up for an exciting finish here in Lubbock. Tied at 57, 3:33 to go in regulation. Let's take a look at this moment of brilliance brought to you by K Jewelers. First, Marcus Smart connecting on the three to give Oak State a 3-point lead. And then the answer at the other end from the graduate student, Jay Crockett.
Jay Crockett came to play. Marcus Smart, first of all, let's give him all the credit in the world. He's been getting some daggers thrown at him, but he's not playing up to snuff and his numbers and this and that. But today he has been locked in absolutely from the get-go today. And Jay Crockett, about 9 hours ago, there's a lonely practice gym in the back bowels of this arena. And if you peeked in, that guy on the right there, Jay Crockett, was in there taking jumper after jumper after jumper, and he was ready to play tonight. Big game in his senior year.
He's a guy that has really evolved over the 4 years. We talk a lot about Markel Brown and how he's come along for Oklahoma State. In the same vein, so is Jay Crockett for Texas Tech, and he's done it with 4 different coaches over the last 4 years.
A lot of pain in this program in the last few years, but again, the prayers were answered when Tubby Smith came, and Jay Crockett has benefited from it, and he's taken advantage of the situation.
Williams, Crockett, Gocher, Turner, and Tolbert, the 5 for Texas Tech. Turner drives off the window. The Red Raiders on top.
Confidence down the stretch. Would Texas Tech have the confidence with the lead, with the score tied, to deliver a win? So far, poised down the stretch.
Crunch time minutes for Christian Sager. He's on the floor with Marcus Smart, Phil Forte, LeBrian Nash, and Markel Brown. Nash playing with 4 fouls. Brown in traffic, Smart down low, and he's got 22.
Well, that's the go-to play that Travis Ford has gone to a few times tonight. Markel Brown coming off that baseline screen, through the help, and then the kickoff inside.
Tim, you said at the top of the broadcast, Smart's shot selection had to be much better. It has been very good tonight.
And he's been absolutely tremendous. And playing defense as well, just playing his heart out on every possession.
Tolbert driving, and the pendulum swings the other way.
Well, that is a big-time move by Jordan Tolbert. I mean, there was not much there. Off balance, the help came. He avoided contact, found an angle on the glass.
Nash triple teamed, fights through it, goes up with it, and he's fouled.
Well, Jordan Tolbert, not known as a guy that makes a lot of moves off the bounce and has had major trouble finishing, especially in traffic as of late, but on the floor, the second dribble and just the body control at the rim and avoiding the help on the interior.
Nash, a 72% free throw shooter, gets the first.
Well, Brian Nash made something out of negative turf because Texas Tech sent the world at him inside. He had somebody on the backside, the front side, and underneath the rim, and he just bullied his way to get the foul.
Dusty Hanna's in for Texas Tech. Nash to the bench. Kamari Murphy in for Oklahoma State. It's tied at 61.
Well, offense, defense, that means Nash out of the game and Texas Tech going inside.
"14 ties, 12 lead changes. The first sellout crowd here since 2007 has gotten its money's worth. Turner for the lead. The tip is not there. Out of bounds. Texas Tech will keep it.
Texas Tech was very fortunate. They used a lot of clock by doing nothing. At the end of the clock, they ran a little pick and roll at the top, and better serve to run a pick and pop and pitch it back to Crockett. Let him maneuver from the top of the key one-on-one and just go at Smart or get to the rim, see if something can happen.
Closing out games has been an issue this season for the Red Raiders. Back in January, they lost the lead to West Virginia in the final 30 seconds. Blew a lead in the final minute against Texas.
They can't go this entire possession without Jay Crockett touching the ball. He has to touch it.
Crockett from the baseline for the lead.
Well, Texas Tech waited and waited and waited. And this is what happens when you are a well-schooled coach team. You drive into the gap at the end, you draw the defense, you space out on the weak side, you dish it to the best player you have on the floor, and you understand that he's going to make things happen at the end of the clock. The senior who was in the gym 9 hours ago. Just to drive into the gap, the ability. Now Marcus Smart is guarding Jay Crockett. He gives the help. Don't think you needed to give that much help. You've got to get support from the backside. When you're guarding Jay Crockett, you've got to stay attached to him and understand that someone else has got to give the help. Make Robert Turner make a play. You don't leave Jay Crockett wide open.
Crockett's got 20 points and 12 boards, 7 of 13 from the field. He has played like an all-conference performer tonight. And so is Marcus Smart, who's got 22 for Oklahoma State. You would think, for a team that's been down on its luck of late, the Oklahoma State Cowboys, losers of 3 straight, trying to get the ship righted, trying to get to 500 in conference play. This is going to be Marcus Smart's moment.
Well, it has to be, but he can make plays for other people as well. I like the set they've been running with Forte at the top and running Markel Brown off that baseline screen. Let him curl into the lane and maybe draw the defense and then give it to Marcus Smart. But also LeBron Nash, quiet all night long. Don't forget about him. He is a low post presence.
A little more than a 3-second differential between shot clock and play clock.
Travis still has 2 timeouts in his pocket.
Smart had it knocked away, but Oklahoma State will keep it. Smart wanted a foul. 14 to shoot, 18.4 seconds in regulation, and we've got a timeout.
Well, the official had a much better angle at that ball out of bounds than we did, but let's take a look at it here, just for fun. Like a foul maybe on the wrist to get the ball loose, and as it's going out of bounds, I guess Jamal Williams Jr. did tip it out of bounds off Smart's hand.
If it's a non-shooting foul on either team, it would only be a 1-and-1. Only 16 fouls on each Texas Tech and Oklahoma State.
Now, Anish, Tubby Smith, the old master that he is, don't be surprised if they show man and maybe drop back to some zone here. Well, it looks like they're going to match up. Mano a mano. We got the home crowd. We're going to get into you and see if we can get a stop. Oh, very close to over and back.
Here's Nash. Falls down. Turns it over. Turner the other way. Crockett fouled on the way up. And a technical foul. Marcus Smart has been teed up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from throwing things on the court. Thank you very much. You guys can leave. Please refrain from throwing things on the court.
Somebody threw something on the court. Right now, security trying to restrain the fans.
Well, we'll get a look at it, Anish. Marcus Smart went into the crowd, and he had some sort of issue with someone behind the basket, and you'll see it here at the crash at the rim on the foul. Marcus Smart runs into the crowd, falls in. As he goes to get up, he turns and pushes.
Right there. That's an easy call.
And elderly, an easy call. That's disgusting behavior. Disgusting.
You know, he's lost his composure a few times this season, and it's hurt his team. He's too good of a player to do that.
I mean, I don't care what level of player you are. You attack a fan, not only a fan, an elderly fan.
So Dusty Hannahs with 2 shots. He hits 1 out of 2. Those were for the technical. And now 2 shots coming for the foul on Crockett.
I mean, what in the world could have this man done or said for that? Nothing.
Especially in the situation at the current time.
I don't care what he said. You got to walk away, and then you have the mentality to go and push somebody in the crowd. That's just beyond belief that I just saw that.
Frustration boiling for this Oklahoma State team. And that moment right there, a microcosm of what maybe has gone on for the last few weeks around this program. There has been some turmoil. The team is losing. Stevie Clark kicked off the team. They had the Cobbins injury early. You know, we've seen frustration from Marcus Smart before, but in that situation, at that juncture of the game, you just can't do that.
I can't believe that he was not thrown out of the building, thrown out of the game. I mean, the officials, I mean, you've got to use your better judgment as an official, too, as you look at this play and say, wait a minute, you've got a player going into the stands and shoves a fan. He should be ejected from the ballgame. He's tripped up, he's being helped up, then he turns and attacks and pushes a fan. He should be in the locker room now. There's no way he should be on the bench right now. Absolutely none. He should be ejected from the game. You cannot have that behavior. If that happens, you think that a player can go into the crowd? I mean, you go back to the Ron Artest days in the NBA. I mean, that could have been disastrous.
Crockett gets 1 out of 2. Oklahoma State out of timeouts. And Texas Tech scores the upset, and here comes the crowd. Texas Tech with its 12th win of the season, 1 more than they had all of last year. It's the Red Raiders' 4th Big 12 win of the season, 1 more league win than they had last year. And for Marcus Smart, really an ugly incident in the final moments of what was a very closely contested and well-played game.
Well, we already went through that ad nauseum, and that doesn't deserve any more attention because the attention should be on Texas Tech. And this scene started the day they brought Tubby Smith to this campus. They brought a winner here, and they're going in the right direction. Big night for Texas Tech.
A signature win for Tubby Smith and the Red Raider program. 65.